Alerts off. We are all set. It is Fantabulous Friday, 1:13 on, I'm gonna gander, it's July 9th. Do I have that right? I'm not even sure.
No, it is July 7th.
7th. Oh, see, I was already 48 hours in advance and didn't know that. Oh, well, that's what happens when you're busy running around and doing all kinds of stuff and not really thinking about the date per se. But anyways, good afternoon, everyone. This is Carol Sue, AKA Naughty Boss, live with two
Sisters. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 6.0 on this Fantabulous Friday, episode number 660. And there are threads and so many things we need to chat about. So since I'm always like the one to sometimes I start the conversation, right? I'm going to turn it over to you. So you start with threads.
Well, you do. Well, it's funny because obviously that's what's been buzzing. That was actually really trending a lot, really heavy. And, from an entrepreneur's, experiences and or what they gain, some people, choose to be on all social media. Some choose only that, that they have the connection, that they're relatable. And the others are more choosy. So I would have to say that I'm a choosier person. Most people know I do not like Flakebook. I'm not a fan of Flakebook, but I keep Flakebook because it does have its advantages from, doing the lives and obviously incorporating our podcast. I love seeing all the different pictures, updates from people that, you sort of keep in contact, but you don't really keep in contact, or, family members that you don't get to. So there are some good things about it. So I'm not going to deny that factor. But from a trust factor, I don't trust Zuckerberg or his staff. I just don't. You always constantly have to put disclaimers on this, and they own the rights of that. So that's one of the downfalls. They also own Instagram, which, there's that. But I do like Instagram. I do love Twitter because it's, now that Elon Musk took it over, I do like that. But what was trending yesterday was Threads. So Threads is trying to compete. So Zuckerberg is trying to compete with Musk between having his Threads versus Twitter. I do understand Elon Musk did put some sort of cease and desist order in place of something. I'm not really sure exactly. I kind of flashed over on my screen, so I didn't dig into it. That's all I know. I don't know what are the specifics, no clue. But what I did learn with Threads is that when you decide, say you don't like it, because you got to remember, Flakebook, owned by Zuckerberg, who owns Instagram. So this is like a third piece to their puzzle. Let's put it that way. If you don't like it, from what I understand, everyone is stating that it takes away not only, because I guess there may be a way to interact, maybe some of your IG peeps with your Threads peeps. I don't know. They connect somehow because obviously, it's the same owner. But if you don't like it and you prefer Twitter, they reserve the right to take away your access to IG. That is what's been trending a lot today. Everyone's saying, don't do it. They have the rights to do that. I'm like, ugh. So there you go with the social media wars. That's all I've seen. I've had a busy day. I haven't really connected much on social media today, but that's anytime that I did connect, that's what was coming out.
Sounds like we have a real fluckmus.
Yeah, I would say.
And it sounds like the old Meta is trying to seek a tripod, and you have to wonder, like, what is and creative is not the correct word, okay? But what is the creativity behind that? What is the purpose? Is that being done to specifically compete with Twitter? Like, who knows? But I love to dive sometimes into stuff like that, because why you're creating another wave-like kind of road down to somewhere, or maybe you don't want to go. Like I mean, if I was to do something like that, I think I would definitely wait quite a while to see where it's going, let it work out all its bugs.
Well, not only that, but people have to understand Zuckerberg, also had some control, not from a corporation perspective with Twitter, but, an influence of what was going to be on, what was flagged as misinformation. I mean, that I see that ramping up a little bit more now. Don't click here before it's not factual, and then you get to still see it anyways. So I just don't trust him at all. And again, it's another outlet for him to control, what people say. At the end of the day, that's, to me, is what it's all about. That's his motivation, is I'm going to counteract this freedom that everyone has, this newfound freedom on Twitter, which it should be the way that it is. He's found another outlet to control free speech, to control what people say, to have his fake fact checkers, because they're not even fact checkers, people. If you read, they're just people behind a keyboard that they have no expertise in nothing. There's no fact checking going on. It is, I don't believe it. It's not my narrative, therefore it's not true. That is all a fact checker is. It's an opinion of what they ultimately want Americans to control. And you have to remember, like, one of the things that I talked about last night is there's two narratives going on. Obviously, the submersive one literally hit the bottom of the ocean, right? And smart people that had common sense said, wait a minute, what other stories are going on that we're not hearing because of this submersive story? And then stretching it out when it imploded on Sunday, and they stretched it out for 5 days, gave all these American people hope and all this crockabaloney, right? Well, there's another story going around, a cuckoo lady on an airplane who starts yelling that the person on the plane, or there's a person or a being on the plane that's not a real person, that's AI or some sort of robot. And she flips out, and now they say, she's nowhere to be found now. They can't find her luggage, don't know where this woman is. And supposedly she's the way because people speak, with their hands. We do that. So she's using, her fingers in such a way that they should think she's part of, the devil or whatever it may be. And I thought, again, why is Americans being fooled by another stupid story to follow, which tells me there's something going on that we don't really truly know about, that they're trying to hide. So I posed a question, actually a math problem, to see whether we get people to start thinking smart and not go down these rabbit holes of cuckoo-ness, because we already know it's a fact that the media puts out what they want to put out to control where your mind goes. That's a fact. I don't care how, you can argue that fact all you want, but you can argue it. You'll be arguing your opinion. It is a fact that news sources out there, whatever the narrative that their higher uppers are telling them to push, they push it for a reason, to deflect, to distract you from what's really going on. So that's the other kind of thing that's been, everyone's posted about this crazy lady on a plane. And I'm like, do you not see the rabbit hole you're going down again? You're on mute.
I muted myself. Sorry about that. Of course, there's when you go down the rabbit hole, it's kind of hard to get out. And, which is why, like, when I want to respond, and we've always talked about this, why would I want to do that? Like, am I really going down that rabbit hole? Do I want to do that? Is it going to add value? If I'm not going to add value, I don't know that I want to respond. Normally, perhaps I would have. But what I find very interesting about all these different things going on. And leading up to, I mean, I could talk about 1600, but this is something that really, I thought, I read the articles on this morning, and it really captured my attention, as a lot
Well,
of things.
keep in mind 1600, because I do have something to add about that, but go ahead.
Yeah, there's something else about that too. But apparently there is what's currently going on, or it probably has been going on. There's a Democrat-led movement to lower the legal voting age to 16, which apparently is gaining momentum. And obviously they want these younger voices to show up in the media and filter all that kind of stuff. And with that, excuse me, one of the GOP candidates that is running for the Republican ticket, Vivek Ramaswamy, really, and he's an amazing speaker, by the way. I love listening to him, who talked passionately about actually raising the voting age to 25, with some exceptions, of course, for people who are 18. And I'm not going to get into that, but it really was an amazing speech. If anyone's on Twitter, I suggest that you looking up. It was very informative. And yeah, so let's hear about what you want to say about 1600.
Well, I did see roughly a 45-second clip on July 3rd. So the eve of the, might be 2 eves of the day that the white powder was discovered. And you could see, because I actually did it in slow-mo, you see him come out. He's, and I'm referring to the son, he looks off, he looks agitated, or, in a jerky motion is the only way I can explain it. He holds his child, he's talking to his wife, and then he's kind of all over the map. And then all of a sudden you see him actually cover his face like this. And then he kind of turns around, he's saying something, and you notice, now obviously I don't really watch the father because he's in the Twilight Zone. I actually watched the wife. And it was pretty obvious she was disdained with however he was behaving. It was pretty obvious. I mean, and she's trying to keep this, look going one way, but she looks back at him if looks could kill, number one. Then you see her husband grab her hand and try to force her to look in another direction, which they eventually do. And then you see Hunter just leaving the what do you call it, balcony where they're standing. And he was just sweating, so, and those are all typical signs of someone under the influence. You have to see the clip, and it's not so much, you do see him interact with his child or one child, and he's pointing to the fireworks, but then he's just like, it's like he's crawling out of his own skin. And then, like I said, what really, because you could say, okay, well, maybe it was hot, and there's a couple of things that you could say, but what drove the narrative from what I was visualizing was Jill Biden turning and just giving him this look like she just wanted to slap him silly. And then she tries to refocus, but you could tell she is pissed.
Yeah, I did see that.
I thought it was interesting.
It definitely was interesting. I saw that as well. And the other part to that I would like to add in reference to things that thing that was found at 1600 was supposedly there's DNA on it, and it's on the bag, and it's going to be tested, and
well, the fingerprints will never be revealed. I mean, we know all this narrative.
Yeah.
The media tried to walk it back that, it was near a more public area than they're saying. It could have been anyone. Like, I want to just say, stop the nonsense, stop the charades, stop the shenanigans, but they won't. So we know that.
Right. So again, it goes down to, how much, you want to be informed, but you don't want to obviously dive into the rabbit holes, I guess is what I am trying to say. I did notice because I have us up on my cell phone that for part of the time, our closed caption was captioned off.
Our closed, so say that again, which
So-
I prefer it to be off, to be honest with you. It's
Yeah,
a pain.
I don't know. I don't even know that we could turn that off, but I was kind of glancing at that because I wanted to see if, because I had heard people talking about the closed caption thing when you do a Facebook Live, and if you're saying something that Meta doesn't like you saying, how they bleep it out or whatever. So yeah, for a little part of the time we were. So
Oh,
whatever.
I feel so bad. We were bleeped out.
What the
No.
bleepity blip, and the fluckmus, and that's FLUCK. By the
Yes.
way.
Well, yeah, you want to make sure you're, getting it all together, right?
That is true for sure. So Fantabulous Friday. What is fantabulous, I have to say, is that I am sitting under my ceiling fan and it feels wonderful.
Well, that's awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, I guess it's a little warm where you are. That's what I heard. You guys aren't really used to that. And then you have that quality of air that is not the best going on. And but Fantabulous Friday, I am glad that I got my first pool workout in
Awesome.
a while, because obviously I had the 2 injuries I was dealing with. So I woke up today, was feeling really good. So I'm excited. But the other thing I was excited about was I lost another 1.5 pounds, which I thought was, considering I'm not working out at all, I thought that was pretty good. So yesterday I revved it up a little bit. So I was happy. So I'm going to try to get another workout in today, if not tonight. And when it's a little bit cooler out, but feeling good. This is the time that, we always talk about Friday, celebrating your wins. Did you accomplish something in your fitness level, something in your gut health, something in your mindset? Heck, did you, finally get out of bed and make your bed? Did you clean out a closet? Whatever your thing was that you wanted to accomplish today, did you have to renegociate, renavigate to get it done? Those are all things you want to celebrate and pat yourself on the back, have that conversation in the mirror and say, hey, you did good. I did good. I got through this week.
Yes, that is true. And just one more thing about nothing about something, but related to what we chatted about. Speaking of rabbit holes, there is a new series with Kiefer Sutherland called The Rabbit Hole, and it's quite interesting. Curious if anyone's watched it or seen it. If you like action adventure, it's a really good series.
All right. So it's called The Rabbit Hole. Okay. Well, that might be something to check out. Well, today, the whole week was kind of like different, right? We had a holiday in the middle of the week. Everyone, kept thinking today was a Monday when it really wasn't a Monday. That's pretty common when you have that holiday during the weekend. It just feels like this weekend that doesn't end, right? Because a lot of people start last Thursday, and here we are over a week later, and it still feels like July 4th week, which it is. So go out, go do things, impact people in a positive way. Remember, always know how busy you are, pack your kindness, put it forward, and learn new ways to renegotiate a situation that you don't think you can get through, or that you have to change the way you do something. It's always good to be open and be flexible, because that's what life's all about, flexibility at the end of the day.
That is so true. And on that note, please go to our website, www.2sistas.online. Let us know how fantabulous you're feeling, or about anything that we chatted about on this episode number 660. Boom, getting closer to 700.
There we go.
Have a great weekend. We hope you have an amazing one. And remember, this week it kind of seemed like there was 2 Mondays in 1 week, but now we are officially on the weekend. Let's make it a great one. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 6.0, and I'm with 2
sisters, and this is Carol, so AKA Naughty Boss. Got to tie up some few ends, get some computer work done. Then I'm going to head outside and try to get in that pool, get some movement in. But enjoy your week. You know, be with people that you naturally vibrate to, because you like their vibes and they like the vibes that you give in return. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll talk to you next week. Monday Mindset. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.